That reason, I am asking Madam Waters.
For what purpose the lady from California seeks recognition?
I move to take her words down.
The House floor freezes mid-speech. One lawmaker drops a name Democrats never want mentioned, Fidel Castro, and suddenly the chamber erupts. This isn't history class. This is accountability, live. If you're new here, consider subscribing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ms. Salazar of South Florida, a child of Cuban exiles from the Castro takeover of Cuba, I yield her 3 minutes.
Florida is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If there is someone who has seen the horrors of socialism up close within the Democratic Party, is in the House, and it's the Honorable Congresswoman Maxine Waters. And I would love for you to support this resolution specifically, because, Madam Waters, for decades you traveled to Cuba dozens of times to visit Fidel Castro personally, whom you consider your friend. Congresswoman Waters was in Havana, and she saw the destruction of biblical proportions that Castro caused on that island, who at the time in 1960 had the highest per capita income in the Western Hemisphere. At that time, Madam Waters knew that thousands and thousands of Cubans were escaping on a raft, exposing their lives and their children to be eaten by the sharks. She knew that Afro-Cubans were being beaten on the streets of Havana, discriminated against by Fidel Castro, Mr. Speaker. And for that reason, I am bringing up all these facts, because Madam Waters knew that the Cuban jails were full of political prisoners, and the Cubans did not have the same privileges that we are having right now to speak freely. At that time, Madam Waters never raised her voice to denounce the horrors of socialism, Mr. Speaker. For that reason, I am asking Madam Waters.
For what purpose the lady from California seeks recognition?
I move to take her words down.
Order. The House will be in order. The lady from California, for what purpose do you rise?
I rise to take down her words.
Lady from Florida, please be seated. I'd ask the clerk to please report the words.
Maria Elvira Salazar steps up, not as a politician, but as the daughter of Cuban exiles who fled Castro's takeover. And she doesn't ease into it. She goes straight for the uncomfortable truth. She says if anyone in the Democratic Party knows the horrors of socialism firsthand, it's Maxine Waters. Why? Because Waters didn't just read about Cuba. She went there dozens of times, met Fidel Castro personally, called him a friend. Salazar reminds the House what Castro's Cuba really was. In 1960, the island had the highest per capita income in the Western Hemisphere. After socialism, it was reduced to ruin, families fleeing on rafts, parents risking their children's lives in shark-infested waters just to escape. She points to Afro-Cubans beaten in the streets, political prisoners packed into jails, a nation where free speech didn't exist. And through all of it, Salazar says Maxine Waters stayed silent. No outrage, no condemnation, no warning. That's when the room explodes. Before Salazar can finish, Democrats rush to shut it down. Maxine Waters moves to have her words taken down. The speaker pounds the gavel. Order is called. The clerk is told to read the words back. But the damage is done. Because the point wasn't procedural. The point was moral. Salazar forced the House to confront a question Democrats hate answering. Why do they excuse socialism abroad while Americans pay the price at home? This wasn't name-calling. This was a record being read into history. And the reaction said everything. If you support exposing the truth and holding power to account, like subscribe, comment, and share.